5 to the 5. Inside 5 minutes to the 5-minute mark for our Heat 1B. The HomeStreet Bank San Diego Bayfair U11 J&D's Jamie Nielsen in this one, along with the U8 Miss Tri-Cities, driven by J. Michael Kelly, the boat owned by Daryl and Vanessa Strong. One of J. Michael Kelly's 2021 goals, as it has been for a number of years right now, is to win his first ever H1 Unlimited National High Points Driver Championship. He has an opportunity to do it here this weekend. He came into today's racing with a 180-point lead over Jimmy Shane. Jimmy Shane, in his first heat today, has already picked up 400 points. So to keep pace, Mr. Kelly needs to win this heat and get 400 points himself. But he's going to have his hands full with Jamie Nielsen. The U11 J&Ds, this boat steadily improves. Kay Brewer, I know you were at the test session in the Tri-Cities in early June, and it was a tough day for the J&D's team. They never got off the trailer. They were there. They were anxious to put the boat in the water. They never got it wet.
Yeah, it was an unfortunate thing. They had some motor problems, but as we've seen already today and yesterday when they were out on the water, they've got it figured out and putting out that beautiful J&D's boat. They are based out of Cle Elum, Washington. I've stopped by their shop a few times when I drive through, and they're always welcoming to bring me into there and talk about the boats, talk about their future, talk about their plans. Scott Rainey and Shannon Rainey, a great couple owners of these boats.
Yeah, you're making me feel kind of bad on that, because now that I live in Eastern Washington and spend time on the west side in Seattle, I've driven by their shop many times, and Shannon's mad at me because I haven't stopped yet. I've been a little bit afraid they'd put me to work. But what you got?
I'm lucky enough, you're lucky enough to live in Washington State. We not only have numerous boat shops in our Washington State area, we also have, you're my favorite place to visit, the Unlimited Hydroplane and Race Boat Museum, located in Kent, Washington. If you're ever up in the Washington State, make that a destination point, the Unlimited Hydroplane and Race Boat Museum. We're here at the Bill Muncie Memorial Race, and you know, Brad, I could spend probably a whole day there, and every time I go there, there's something new.
Yeah, you really can. David Williams and his team at the Hydroplaner Raceboat Museum, they are always very, very welcoming of anybody who wants to come by. If you are indeed an Unlimited Hydroplane race fan, or even just a boat race fan, you need to put that on your bucket list to make sure you go to the Hydroplane and Raceboat Museum. A couple of boats coming out of there pretty quick. 1962 Notre Dame is coming out, and you have the 1979 Squire Shop. I can't wait to see that boat on the water.
Yes.
It will be on the water next summer. They almost got it this summer. All it needs right now is paint, and it is ready to go. The engine's built. 6 minutes and 10 seconds till our start. I think we'll have a countdown to 1 to the 5.
Those are all volunteers at our Hydroplane Raceboat Museum.
3, 2, 1. Mark, 1 to the 5. 1 to the 5.
Along with a lot of our volunteers here at San Diego, Brad, you had mentioned it. What was the number of volunteers that it takes to make this weekend happen?
Well, I'm somewhere between 1,600 and 1,700. We got a couple of them right down here doing some security work for us. Say thank you to a volunteer. Without them, we don't race. Kay, it's time to go racing. 35 seconds to the 5-minute mark. Looking for lids to go down. Lid is down on J. Michael Kelly's U8, the Miss Tri-Cities. They are ready to go. Shannon Rainey, a couple of crew members step off the deck of the U11, the J&Ds. The lid goes down. A couple of crew members left on the deck of that boat. We are ready to go. Coming up on 10 seconds. 10 seconds until the 5-minute mark and the start of our Heat 1B.
4, 3, 2, 1. Mark, 5-minute gun. Green flag on the course.
There you go. You heard it from the officials. That's the 5-minute mark. The boats cannot come out on the water until that particular point in time. That has come and gone. And here come our race boats. Jamie Nielsen first away from the dock in the Chartreuse and Royal Blue. J&D's. He kind of bends a little bit to the left. J. Michael Kelly in the Miss Tri-Cities. He will bend a little bit to the right. They don't want to be anywhere near each other. When they come away from the dock, again, it's that saltwater issue. You do not want to catch the spray off the back of somebody's boat. Look at Kelly. He goes way to the right. Now he'll bend it to the left. He's got clean water in front of him. Only 2 boats in this one, but it could be good. Kelly's got to get the win.
$10 that J. Michael Kelly was out there waving to our fans out there on the, they're right outside of the pit area. And I want to thank all of your fans here in the pits, outside the pits, over on the other side. We have hundreds of thousands of people out here cheering on our 2 drivers as they make it out onto the course. Brad Luce, these 2 that are out here started their racing career with the outboard hydroplane racing. I've watched them battle it out in the outboards, and I watched them both grow here into the unlimited hydroplane racing. I know that a lot of these kids that are sitting here on the beach want to say, someday I want to be an unlimited hydroplane driver, and these 2 lucky guys got to do it as they make their way out onto the course.
Yeah, J. Michael Kelly still spends a lot of time behind the wheel of an outboard boat. Look at Jamie Nielsen. It was very Dave Villwalk-esque, as we used to say back in the day. He just ran a great big donut right in the middle of the field. He cut the course at the lower end, then he cut it at the top end. JMK thought, it must be good for him, it'll be good for me. He will do the same thing. Watch for these guys. Specifically because of the salt, look for them to give a lot of lane space between the 2 of them. I look for Kelly not to mess around and try and get on the inside. I think he probably feels he has Jamie covered. Look for him to move to the outside. I don't know. We know Mike is a master at getting an inside lane. Maybe he'll go for it, maybe not. If he does, you sure don't want to be late getting into turn 1. 2 minutes, 50 seconds, 2:50.
Well, Brad, as some of our fans are just now getting here this afternoon, can you explain to them how the starting procedure works? Yes. Don't tell me no. Our fans,
the boats are allowed to come out on the race course here at the 5-minute mark, and then they are doing what we call the milling period. Their lanes are not assigned to them. We quote-unquote fight for lanes. They have to establish that lane at the entrance pin here to turn 2. That will happen prior to the 1-minute mark. 2 minutes and 20 seconds until our start. As the boats come up the backstretch, Jamie Nielsen is on the inside, JMK behind him, and on the outside. I honestly think this is the way they are going to start, Kay. I think they'll make a full lap here, go all the way around. The other piece to this start procedure, and they have to be very careful with this, during the milling period, they cannot drop below 80 miles an hour. Now, we used to do that via GPS. We used to do it via sight. Now it is picked up on the black box, and that is part of tech inspection. They look at the N2, they look at fuel flow, they also look at speed, and they have caught boats this year dropping below 80 miles an hour. In Tri-Cities, it happened a couple of times, so they know Big Brother, if you will, is watching. You've got to stay above 80 miles an hour. Now, the idea is there is no score-up buoy. They simply establish their lane at the entrance to turn 2 at the SeaWorld turn at the top end, which they're going to come up and do. It's going to be Nielsen in 1. Kelly's going to be on the outside, kind of as we anticipated. Then it is just a matter of putting your boat at the start-finish line. As the clock strikes 0, don't get across early. It's a 1-lap penalty. 1 second. Mark, 1 minute. 1 minute to the start. I also, Kay Brewer, would look for both of these guys to be conservative at the start. And by conservative, I mean you don't want to try and time this thing too finely. It's not worth it. As we said earlier, you cannot win this race in the first heat of the day, but you can sure as heck lose it.
Yes, exactly. And like you said, if they cross that start-finish line before the clock hits 0, it's a 1-lap penalty. That can be very painful when it comes to point status, because as you said, J. Michael Kelly, he's chasing down points to come and catch up with Jimmy Shane. So we've got 2 drivers out on the course. You can hear the compression that's coming out of the J&Ds as he feathers that throttle back and forth, as we are now going to let Brad Luce give us the countdown as they come down to the start-finish line.
Yeah, I think Jamie Nielsen's a little bit early because it's still 10 seconds. It's about a 12-second run off the top end of the race course. Here comes Kelly with boat speed on the outside. We are 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2, 1. Mark. And we are racing in Heat 1B at the HomeStreet Bank San Diego Bayfair. If the start is under review, Kay. I said I didn't think they'd push it, but apparently they did. Nielsen in lane number 1, got to get down there first. Look at Kelly on the outside. He just rocketed past him. And J&D's is down. J&D is down. He has lost power, Jamie Nielsen. Tough break for the U11. He started to lose power, I think, earlier in the corner, K, because I think that's why Kelly went by him so fast. And now, all of a sudden, it is a 3-lap run for J. Michael Kelly. He's just got to complete the 3 laps. The start was good.
It was close, but it's good right now. JMK, J. Michael Kelly, with that strong racing, has the whole course to himself. As you said, he'll probably run this conservatively, but I would keep an eye on that J&D's boat. Hopefully he's able to go out there and restart it up, throttle that turbine up, and make it around the course, because some points are better than none. And I know that Scott Rainey is frantically talking to him, hey, can you get that thing back on the water? Let's go, let's roll.
Yeah, and we are looking at Scott Rainey. He is standing right in front of us. In the corral with the other radio men as J. Michael Kelly down in turn 1, lap number 2 goes around the disabled J&Ds and Jamie Nielsen. Tough break for Scott and Shannon Rainey, and they're both the J&Ds. We only had a 2-boat heat. It only lasted until halfway through turn number 1, lap 1, and unfortunately Jamie lost power. As I said last time, Kay, I think clearly he must have lost power before that. With the speed with which Mike went past J&D's, I think he was already losing power. And you're not going to see the J&D's power up because the lid has popped open. Jamie Nielsen is going to open up the lid and get some air. He cannot come out of the cockpit unless he has a problem. He must stay in the boat.
Well, I'm watching the live feed that's being presented on your Facebook on the H1 Unlimited page, and they have a great view of J. Michael Kelly as he goes across the start-finish line and back into turn 1. That is what's great about our system right now, is we have an awesome live streaming with some great video coverage. But, you know, Brad Luce, best place to be in the house is right here on the beaches with all these other folks and all these fans here in San Diego.
Yeah, it certainly is. And coming off the lower corner on the 3rd and final time around, I love this view of an H1 Unlimited hydroplane. You can look right underneath the U8 Miss Tri-Cities. We call them 3-point hydroplanes because they only touch the water in 3 points. There is the definition, Kay, of a 3-point hydroplane. He's touching the water at the trailing edges of both sponsons. You can look right underneath the boat and see the propeller making contact. J. Michael Kelly, this is an important finish for him. These 400 points are huge. He will then take his 180-point lead over Jimmy Shane in the Miss HomeStreet. Checkered flag for J. Michael Kelly, and all of a sudden Jimmy with 4,325 points. JMK plus 180. He's back up to that number, 4,505. That was a big win for Kelly. Sorry we didn't get to see him duke it out a little bit with Jamie. He had a good start on the inside.
Exactly, and like you said, those points are getting closer, and the weekend is just beginning. We have 2 full days of racing still left to go. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. Once again, I remind all of our fans, go to the H1 app, download it. It'll give you the point standing, it'll give you videos, it'll give you specs, it'll give you times, it'll give you everything you need to know and want to know when it comes to H1 Unlimited Hydroplanes.
We need to remind our fans that that was how the boats finished on the water. Those results are unofficial. The boats still have to go through technical inspection. Only then will they become official, and even after that, when the officials basically sign off on the heat and give us an official order. But it certainly looks to be the J. Michael Kelly will come home with 400 points in our Heat 1B. The finish is unofficial until our officials say differently. We will monitor the process, and as soon as we hear, we will pass it along to you. Now, let's take a look at our schedule moving forward. Coming up very quickly here is our Grand Prix Heat 1B presented by Reliable Diamond Tool. They will be up next. I've got Grand Prix in the water right now, so we expect that will be happening as soon as possible. That may be affected by the U11 J&Ds down at the bottom end of the race course, but understand the J&Ds is way off of the Grand Prix race course because he's down in turn 1 of the Unlimited course. The GP course is very short of that. Look for them to perhaps pull the J&Ds off and outside the outside course markers and bring them up close to shore. We'll monitor it. But right now, next up, Grand Prix Hydroplane Racing, Heat 1B.
All right, I'm going to grab J. Michael Kelly doing some discussions with his teams. Congratulations. We had a close start up there. Can you put our fans at that start-finish line because it was under review for a little bit?
Yeah, no, I was a little behind at the start. Jamie, he was right on it and just absolutely wired it. And it's unfortunate for Jamie and the 11 team. They were going to have a pretty good run in that heat. And I thought was going to have a pretty good race, but got down the turn and he just started losing a bunch of momentum, and just kind of a easy runner for us after that. So it's unfortunate. Wanted to have a good race. Wanted to see how things would go with me, and I can't thank my entire crew and Daryl and Vanessa and everybody for trusting me behind the wheel and giving me the opportunity to go run some laps this week.
You're a very experienced driver. That was a very important 400 points for you, J. Michael. You are in the chase for the championship.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. A team championship would be even better. All these guys that work on these boats work their tails off for us. We get to do the fun part. But it's neat to be in that, to have the opportunity to go run for a driver point championship, and I'm glad I get to be out there and have an opportunity. And those 400 points are huge. I still got a little bit of a cushion. We'll see how the next heat draws work out, and just go from there.
All right, well, congratulations. We're going to let you go ahead and get this. You're a little warm out here. Us Washingtonians are not used to this weather, so I'm going to let you go ahead and get up into that hauler, cool off, reminisce about how great that win was. Congratulations once again, J. Michael Kelly in the Miss Tri-Cities.